What's happening, everybody? Clark Kent here. I'm going to take these off because they reflect and you can't really see anything. Very quickly on the day, it's been a long day. Right now, it is 10:30. If you're new to this channel, what I do is I update you guys on my days of running the agency, of how it's been, and then I'll get into some topics and that sort of stuff. Whatever I feel like talking about, I talk about. Today, I actually got a question on one of my latest videos about overwhelm, which I wanted to touch on because I think it's a good question, and the way the guy's written it, it illustrates the whole picture well. And it's something that is worth having a little bit of a conversation about. So I'll try and keep it brief. I'll try and answer the question pretty well, hopefully, and just give my 2 pence on it, really. So yeah, my name's Conrad, and I run an agency. By the way, I'm not actually Clark Kent. I'm trying to keep it light-hearted a little bit because overwhelm is a little bit of a shit feeling, and to be honest, not even a little bit of a shit feeling. It is a shit feeling, and I've been through it before, and I've been through it many times, especially when I used to work a 9 to 5, and I felt like I had to control every single variable for success of the company. And yeah, I'll get into as to how I sort of adapted and learned to not be so overwhelmed anyway. But the question goes, hey, could you make a video about overwhelm? I don't know, but for me, I can get very overwhelmed, especially when I'm about to close a very big client. Feeling of potential failure, the feeling of disappointing the people around me, the feeling of how much underachieved I am. All these feelings end up compounding on top of each other whenever I come close to closing a very big client that requires a lot of work and responsibility and risk. This feeling of overwhelmness makes me slow down my momentum when it comes to work. Days can go by and I end up not doing the work. This year I've been working on this problem and I've come over a great way, but unfortunately I struggle. I don't know if you go through this or have went through this and overcame this block, but some advice will be very helpful. Like I mentioned, I've definitely felt this way, and I think one of the things that I've sort of tried and instilled in my life is if I cannot control something, I let it go completely. For example, I cannot control whether a client is going to fuck me over um, in regards to closing jobs, for example. If I'm delivering leads to a client, I can't really control the fact that they will tell me that they closed this job or they haven't closed this job. If I'm working on a performance-based model, it relies on the trustworthiness of the business owner, and I can't really lose sleep over that. I just have to be smart about moving away from that as quickly as possible, especially at the start, because obviously it's going to become an overwhelming feeling, and it's going to be, I've got so much of this going on. This client's not closing leads, or so to say, he's not closing leads, and yeah, it creates this strange feeling where you feel like you've got so much to do, and when you feel like you've got so many decisions to make, and realistically, I think Alex Hormozy spoke about this before, that one decision can change your life completely, and you're just giving the power all away from the control. So the control that you have, you're giving the power away to outside variables. And it's just about eliminating it's either reducing the demand and or eliminating the uncertainty when it comes to something like this. The way the way you have described it is that it's just something that I feel like anyway that you're able to control, but you're just overthinking it, and it might be just stemming down to that. I'm not, therapist or I don't even know how to describe myself in this situation, but I'm not somebody that's capable of giving actual real good advice on sort of topics like this. I have been overwhelmed before. When I used to work for my dad's trade business, we had 5 to 10 different projects going on at once, and the stress of all of them combining and piling on top of me on a day-to-day basis was a lot, and I felt overwhelmed um, pretty much most days, to be quite honest with you, and it sort of became the norm. But I think you just need to sort of see whether you can delegate any of the tasks that it comes to when it comes to signing a client like that. Because obviously, if it gets in the way of you signing the client, then you need to be able to control that and be able to sort of even, I don't know how to explain it, to sort of even stop it from overcoming and overcoming your decision making and overcoming what actions you take, because obviously at that point it's detrimental to your business. But if you're able to sort of keep it under control when it comes to closing a client, and when you do close a client, you just need to be able to weigh up the demand, and look at maybe hiring people to help you with the task at hand, I guess. And then also obviously the uncertainty that is created by sort of taking on a client like this, when you've got the responsibility and the risk. You just need to be able to control the variables. Whatever you can control. The rest is just going to have to be the way it's going to have to be. And there's not much else you can really do. I always used to try and control every single thing, and it just doesn't work. You try and pick everything up all at once, and you start spilling stuff, you start dropping stuff, and the stuff that you should be controlling, that you could control, gets spilled, and you just make a big mess of everything, I think. So hopefully that has sort of helped you out a little bit. I know it's not the greatest response that you could potentially get to something like this. I'd love to have a conversation with you, mate. To be honest, if you send me a DM on Instagram, I'll try my very best to maybe jump on a quick call or something and try and help you out maybe that way. But yeah, hopefully this video has helped somebody when they're feeling overwhelmed. I think it's just about controlling what you can control, creating a little bit of a no list, I guess, and just saying no to stuff that makes you feel under pressure, or makes you feel overwhelmed, or makes you sort of piles up on top of you. I know a saying in the construction industry is you got to be on top of things before they get on top of you, and I guess you could relate this to a lot of different industries and businesses and different models and so on. And it's true. If you aren't on top of things, things are going to be on top of you, and being overwhelmed will stem from, to me anyway, it would stem from not taking action on the things that I know I need to take action on. And I'd be sitting here anxious and uncertain about different things when I know I need to be doing things. And I guess that's what creates anxiousness for me anyway, is when I know I have to be doing stuff, but I'm just not doing it for whatever reason, whether I'm procrastinating, whether I'm choosing not to do it, whether I'm focusing on stupid shit, whether I am wasting my time rotting away scrolling TikTok, whatever it is. It's going to be creating, anxious feelings and the feeling of overwhelm. So yeah, hopefully this sort of illustrates a little bit of a picture from the way I see it. I know I'm not a professor or a therapist or any of that sort of stuff, so I can't really say what exactly to do. It's just control the controllables, I guess, control the variables, and everything else, I guess, I just sort of face with the fact that it's going to be what it's going to be.